Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm actually still in the same sweater because I got lazy and I was like, I'm not gonna change again. So I'm actually, it's kind of fitting because I'm gonna actually do a whole other book tag. I'm trying to see if I know who this, I think I wrote it down. Reader Problems book tag by From About to Read. I don't know if it was actually her who created this book tag, but this is the person I found the book tag from, and I'm kind of enjoying these videos. I would never think that in 2020 I would have started liking book tags. So here it is. So you have 20,000 books on your TBR. Close. How in the world do you decide what to read next? So how I decide to read next, I'm mostly like a mood reader. So like, say if like I'm in a mood for a romance, I pull a romance. Say if I'm in a mood to like have some psycho killer like hunt me in my dreams, then I'll pick up a thriller. I'm not so much keen on horror. I don't really have a lot of horrors, but yeah, I kind of like really I love fantasy because it's like I like to imagine like dragons and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm a mood reader. It really depends on my mood, what's like gonna grab my attention and stuff like that. So there's that. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? I know for a fact Mimi is committed. She has to see every book through, and since I have so many books with me, it's like I'm not going to force myself to read something I'm not thoroughly enjoying. So I'm learning to like DNF more books. So there's that. The end of the year is coming and you're so close but so far away of your Goodreads reading challenge. Do you try to catch up, and how? Yes, I am actually trying to catch up right now. I think audiobooks is like a good way to try to catch up. It's like where you're cleaning, or you're doing anything that doesn't give you the physical like time to like have a book or have a Kindle in your hands. Audiobooks is the way to go. Okay, question 4. The covers of series you love do not match. How do you cope? I'm not a stickler for this because I have the whole Grishaverse in a book box. I have Six of Crows in like a paperback, and I have Crooked Kingdom in hardback. It does not bother me at all. I have the Outlander series, half of them are mass paperback and the other half are in hardcover. It does not bother me. I mean, it would be nice to find them all the same size, color, like, you know, same size. And like if I find them all hardback, I would like them all hardback, but it doesn't bother me. It's a book. I appreciate it regardless. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? Okay. No one. Mimi is my bookish best friend. Ashley and me don't necessarily read the same books, so I can't really say I can gripe to her about certain books, but definitely Mimi. We've been buddy reading a lot this year, and we just like to talk shit about books. So she's my go-to person when I want to talk shit about books. And also my husband, but he looks at me like I have 10 heads, and he's like, why are you telling me about how much you hate this book? So that's funny, but like messing with him, so I do it all the time now. So yeah. You're reading a book and you are about to start crying in public. How do you deal? Girl, I cry. I will let the tears flow. I do not care. I have the privilege of working at a job that I'm able to read. And if I need to cry, I will cry. I do not care. I'm an empath, so I'm always crying anyway. But if you need to cry, just cry. Like, it doesn't matter if you're out in public. Ruin your makeup for that book. A sequel of a book you love just came out, but you've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book, skip the sequel, try to find the synopsis on Goodreads, cry in frustration? I'm usually really good at remembering like what the book series is about, kind of like King of Scars. The second book is coming out next year, like February or something like that. I'm pretty good with remembering like storylines that like sucked me in and I thoroughly enjoy, so I never had a problem with that. I do read like synopses on Goodreads when I really need like a refresher, like the Inheritance trilogy. Like when I read book 2, I'm definitely gonna read the synopsis for book 1 so I could kind of like remember, because it wasn't like something that I was like, oh my god, I need to finish book 2. Kind of like the Grishaverse and all the Barduga series. So there you have it. You do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell people nope when they ask? No. That's it. Like, I do not let anyone borrow my books anymore. I feel like if I'm letting you borrow a book, it's a book I don't have no fear of getting back. Plain and simple. Like, I'm like, all right, here, you can have it, or here, you can borrow it, because I know I'm not getting it back. Or if I have the Kindle version, I don't have no problems letting people borrow my physical books, but I do not let anyone borrow my books anymore. No, this is not Passion's Library. You cannot come at your own discretion and borrow them unless you're like sleeping over and you're gonna spend a few days here like Mimi does. Then you can like peruse my bookshelves and read my books, but you cannot take them with you. I'm a stickler for that. Like, I appreciate my collection. This is years of thrifting, of collecting, of scouring Amazon and doing book swaps, that I cannot part with any of them. Okay. Reading ADD. You've picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? My best advice when you're in a reading slump is read something that's out of your comfort, that's good and juicy, and it's gonna suck you in. Like, that happened to me recently, actually. I was in a bad reading slump because I was working like crazy, and then I felt like I was spiraling, and I was like, oh, let me pick up a feel-good book. So I ended up picking up Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. And me and Mimi actually read that book together, and it was amazing. And it helped pulled me out of my reading slump because it was like juicy, and it was a feel-good book. So I recommend just reading a feel-good book and reading with someone who appreciates books with you, so you can just like gush over them together. So that's how I got over my recent reading slump that took like 6 months. Yeah, just about 6 months. Yeah, girl, I'm struggling this year. There are so many new books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? You know what? Use your own discretion. If you have the money and the resources to buy the books that you want, buy them. I'm more of the, if I really want to read them, then I'll buy them. But, or I'll like drag my husband to like Barnes and Noble, and I'm like, babe, I really want to read this book. I really want this book. And he kind of like supportively like, just get it if you want it. So yeah, if I really want the book, yes, I would buy it, but I try to restrain now because I have so many in my collection. So I restrain myself from buying physical books and kind of just go to the Kindle world. It just makes it easier, and it's a little cheaper, and it's good for the environment. That's my excuse. All right, and the last question: after you've bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? Oh my God, is someone watching me in the booktube universe? Because I have books that I have purchased and I was desperate to read them, aka Gilded Wolves. And they just sit on my shelf because reading slumps suck. And then I kick myself and I'm like, why didn't I read this book? And then I buy more books and then it gets pushed in the back burner, and then I buy more books and then it keeps getting pushed in the back burner. I kick myself all the time. But they usually take months to years. Don't judge me. You're silently judging me, and I'm not okay with that. So yes, sometimes months and years. I'm gonna be brutally honest, because honesty is the best policy. So there you have it. I mean, I'm guilty. It happens. That's that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit like, subscribe. Peace.